Hey guys, so you may be wondering if you're involved in typology at all, if you look up YouTube videos to learn about people's types. You may be wondering where are all the ENFJs? That's something that I definitely wondered because some, I think I naturally categorize people in my head, so it was pretty easy to learn what each of the 16 types look like. But the best way that I learned that was by searching on YouTube and looking at examples, and I don't find that there's that many ENFJs on YouTube compared to other types. You see a lot of INFJs, INFPs, and ENFPs. And because of that, because ENFJs aren't as in your face like online in their online presence, I sometimes hear that people would call ENFJs the most sensory of the intuitive types, which is just really annoying and just not true. So I wanted to address that today. Why? Why are there not more ENFJs? Especially when we are the type that is called the teacher. Like, why are we not teaching what typology means and what the point of it is? I think one of the biggest things about that is that we're perfectionists, especially in terms of ourselves. As EJ types, we like to control the outer world, but as NFs, we have more patience with people and other people. So a lot of this J-ness comes into how we deal with ourselves. Like I'm more calculated than I normally think that I am, if that makes sense. But basically, I'm not going to talk about something unless I know exactly what I mean. So I've been interested in typology for like 3 years. I've read books about it. I've lurked on the forums. I guarantee you there's so many ENFJs that are just lurking. They're watching other people's videos. They are too afraid to comment because they don't know, like, especially with our inferior TI, we want to get as much information as possible before we believe what we're saying. And sometimes that takes a while because, and it's counterintuitive because we know a lot about people. Like, we just do. We get people naturally. Like, out of all the NF types, I believe that ENFJs probably understand typology the quickest because we are always categorizing people with our NI. That just in our brains, we like, I've always said things before I even knew like the terms. I would talk about people like, oh, they just have a stronger personality, or oh, they're just one of those people that doesn't overanalyze as much and takes things on surface value. Like, I used to have, I was always aware of these things, and I always kind of grouped people in my mind. So whenever I found out about Myers-Briggs, it was very much intuitive for me to get. But I also, I really wanted to understand the intricacies before I started talking about it. So another thing that I'm working on is I'm trying to be less of a perfectionist, which is why I'm just trying to put this video out there without having like step 1, step 2, step 3 of like how to talk about it. Because I realize that I really am good at explaining to my friends that want to know about typology if they have any questions. Another reason why ENFJs aren't that great, or why they don't have such of a internet presence explaining things, is because I very much operate based on conversations. Like, I really want to know what sort of questions people have and then address those things. I think ENFJs are really good at describing things in a really simple way, and they can get more complex if need be. Like, unlike ENFPs, I think explain things super complexly whenever you ask. We know how to make the complex sound simple. So that's not really helpful when you don't know who you're talking to, which is what the internet's like. Because I could be like, oh, well, NI is introverted intuition and NE is external depending on who you're talking to, one person could be like, oh, got it. And another person could have a question about it. So whenever I am explaining this to people, it's just easier to use a real person, because then I know how to cater what I'm saying to them. And that's another just barrier between why some ENFJs don't really like go on the internet and share these sort of things. I am way more open for having conversations. Another point I wanted to make earlier about people say that ENFJs are the most sensory intuitive. That's just not true. We care more about what people think, but that does not mean that we're going to mold to what that is. It's even harder for us because we need more connection. We need more obvious connection with our FE and SE. We want to feel it, we want to see it, we want to live it. And sure, some NFJs compared to NFPs, like comparatively, NFJs might be more likely than some to try and fit with what society wants, but they will be terribly unhappy if they do so, because that is SI that wants to stick to society. Like, I hate society. I want it to be different, therefore, like, I want society to be different, therefore I could be more comfortable in my own skin, and because I do want to fit in. But I'm not going to change myself to fit into something that I don't want to fit into. So that's just really, really difficult for ENFJs. I think that a lot of times in the forums, if we feel that we have an unpopular opinion, or if we feel that someone is not explaining things correctly, it's hard for us to just create conflict for no reason. Now, when I first started to learn about typology, if I would see someone comment like, I think that Obama is an ENTP, not an ENFJ, or just something like, I'd be like, no, I think they're wrong, but I would be too afraid and not sure enough in my own view to comment and say that. So this kind of fits with what I was saying, that ENFJs are just lurkers, because we always give other people's thoughts the benefit of the doubt, but the more thoughts we take in, the more we're like, hey, like, not sure if you're right, and we'll be more likely to have our TI out and just let people know if we disagree with them. But also, sometimes I just kind of think, like, what's the use? Like, I'm on some forums where I just don't think that I'm gonna change anyone's mind. Like for me to just say over and over and over again, it's not about the functions, or no. Whoops. It's not about the dichotomies, it's about the functions. Like, for me to just say that and pound it in their head over and over again, if I don't think that that's gonna work, I'm not gonna try. But I do want to do that. I do want to make these videos because, I don't know, I think that there needs to be more of an ENFJ presence, because we know what we're talking about and we're good at explaining. And I don't know. I want to explain what I know to people that want to know what I know. And right now I'm in this weird place where there's people in my life that they ask me questions about Myers-Briggs and astrology, other things that I'm interested in. And I'll tell them, but I can tell that they don't really want to know all of it. And so, as an ENFJ, I need to let my thoughts out. I need to let my emotions out. I need to share. But I don't like the feeling of forcing my knowledge and forcing my advice onto people. And so I really am just starting to think that I need to put that out there in videos and other things, because I don't want to bug my friends with my advice. Like, I want to help people, and I want to give advice, and I want to share what I know, but not if someone doesn't want to. So that's another thing. ENFJs maybe don't post videos so much because they don't know if there's anyone watching. They don't see what the point is. But I'm just gonna put this on there and hope that someone sees it. So, yep, that's the point of this video. Why ENFJs are awkward as hell. Because we don't know how to talk to a camera. We feel weird about commenting in forums to people we don't know, because I don't know why. Like, I think INFJs and INFPs know how to separate themselves more because they're introverted. That they almost like that they feel anonymous, and I don't want to feel anonymous. I don't like that feeling. So, here I go, posting it anyways. Yeah.